Welcome back to the Toughest of the Type, the series where we look at trainers of a specific type and see who provides the toughest challenge in their initial battles. And this time around, we're looking at the grass type. Time to find out who's the best at touching grass. First, let's look at what's inherently tough about the grass type itself. For weaknesses, grass is actually tied for having the most of them, being weak to fire, ice, poison, lime, and bug. 5 in total. Grass resists water, grass, electric, and ground. Offensively, grass is good against water, ground, and rock, but is resisted by fire, grass, poison, flying, bug, dragon, and steel. So yeah, not the best offensively or defensively, but where grass mainly shines is support. Grass types tend to learn a lot of really great status moves, most notably Leech Life, Powder moves, and the big boy itself, Spore, all of which grass types are immune to, by the way. Anyone who's played competitive and seen Among Us knows about Spore. Well, anyways, it's time to analyze the grass type specialists of Pokémon. Let's touch some grass, you wonderful people. We start in Kanto, where we meet the very first grass type specialist, the nature-loving princess, Erika. Erika is the 4th gym leader in Kanto if you go in the intended order. Erika is known to constantly be sleepy, even before gym battles, which has led some to believe that she's either narcoleptic or is constantly being affected by the sleep pattern her Pokemon give off. Throughout her appearances, Erika's team stays somewhat consistent, but the stages of their evolutionary lines is what tends to change. In Gen 1 and Gen 3, Erika's team is Victory Bell, Tangela, and Vileplume. Yellow de-evolves her Victory Bell and Vileplume into Weepinbell and Gloom, and Let's Go only de-evolves her Victory Bell. Erika's strategy mainly revolves around the powder moves, aside from Let's Go, placing either poison or sleep powder on your team, and a lot of the time they'll also have a draining move. But here's where Erika will probably struggle against the player. There are so many good encounters you can catch for Erika. Notably, if you have Vulpix or Growlithe, you can immediately evolve them. And since 2 of Erika's Pokemon are poison types, any psychic Pokemon will also be incredibly helpful. And remember, even beyond Gen 1, psychic is still the best type in Kanto. Overall though, Erika's tactics are more annoying than tough. You can get really screwed over if you're unlucky or have slow Pokemon. Erika can wear you down with poison or stop you from attacking with sleep. So if you hate trainers who use a lot of status tactics, you're gonna be in for a rough time. Next, we head over to Sinnoh to meet the next grass specialist, master of thriving plant Pokemon, Gardenia, the trainer with a green thumb. Gardenia is the 2nd gym leader in all versions. An interesting tidbit of Gardenia is her fear of ghosts. She even wonders what she would do if a grass ghost type existed, something that would happen a couple times after Gen 4, but it seems she got over her fear as she semi-officially has a ghost type, having a Dhelmise during a summer 2024 Pokemon Masters event. But how did she fare as the still scared of ghosts gym leader? In DP and BDSP, her team is Cherubi, Turtwig, and Roserade, with Cherubi being evolved into Cherrim and Platinum. In DP, Gardenia's strategy mainly revolves around Grass Knot, but there are some more tricks here. Mainly, reflect on Turtwig, reducing the power of physical moves. Notable as most of your effective moves for this gym are likely physical. Platinum, as it usually does, improves this team. Well, kind of. Turtwig is given Sunny Day, which would help you if you had a fire type, but this would also activate Cherrim's Flower Gift, increasing her attack and special defense. So if Turtwig also set up Reflect, it could make Cherrim surprisingly tanky. Now we have Gardenia's BDSP team, which might be her best one. Her Cherrim is a Cherubi again, but now has growth to increase her power. Turtwig has Work Up, a Miracle Seed, and Shell Armor to prevent critical hits. Finally, Roserade has Petal Blizzard, which can deal big damage. And with Technician, Poison Sting is actually somewhat decent. And for counters, Gardenia can sit somewhat comfortably. Famously, Sinnoh only gives you 2 options for fire types. The bug types up to this point aren't too good, though you have decent flying type options. And as long as you keep your head in the game, you'll pull through. Now we head over to Unova for the next grass type specialist, the grass Grass-type Master, Cilan. Cilan is the first gym leader you'll face in Black and White, but only if you chose Oshawott as your starter. And according to the anime, he is a connoisseur of all types of things, such as a Metro connoisseur, which is subways and trains. As a gym leader, he only has one team, Lillipup and Pansage. Cilan's team specializes in the workup TM. This may create issues if he gets to set up too much, but luckily you have counter options. There's of course the gift Pansear you get from choosing Oshawott, and with Cilan's ace being a Pansage, you can also catch a Bidove. Overall though, Cilan can possibly provide an early challenge, especially if you don't go for the gift Pansear. Next up we head over to Kalos to meet the oldest grass-type specialist, Ramos, the old man of Kalos. Ramos is the 4th gym leader you'll face in Pokemon X and Y. Ramos is a farmer. I don't know what else you want me to say. Ramos only has one gym team, Jumpluff, Weepinbell, and Go-Go. Like Gardenia, Ramos specializes in the Grass Knot TM. But since Ramos is a later gym leader, your Pokemon are likely heavier. But I'ma be honest, I don't think Ramos is all that impressive. 2 of his Pokemon have Chlorophyll, yet he has no way of setting up the sun. And like most Kalos gym leaders, his movesets aren't all that great. And if that wasn't enough to make him feel underwhelming, Ramos is the first gym leader you'll face after obtaining Mega Evolution. Now let's set sail to Alola to meet the next grass-type specialist, Mallow, the Master Chef of Alola. Mallow is the 4th trial captain you'll face in Alola, but only in Moon and Ultra Moon. And thanks to Mallow's trial, we've got some pretty funny screenshots. Mallow's team is Phantump, Shiinotic, and her ace Steenie. Phantump's strategy is to set up status effects on your team, notably Leech Seed, Confusion, and possible flinches. Shiinotic's strategy is to stay up for as long as possible, using annoying tactics like Ingrain, Mega Drain, and Sleep Powder, with Effect Spore also adding some risk with using physical attacks. Finally is Steenie, who is an all-out attacker. Luckily, you'll have some good options to counter this team. Overall though, Mallow can be fairly tough. Now we head over to Galar for the beefiest grass-type specialist, Milo, the Beefcake of Galar. Milo is the first gym leader you'll face in Galar, and an interesting little fact about him is he actually has a little brother, but you can only see how he looks like through Milo's concept art, where he looks like a shorter, less muscular Milo. Milo's team is Gossifleur and Eldegoss, with Eldegoss being his Dynamax Pokemon in his gym battle. His movesets are decent enough, but obviously the main issue will come when Eldegoss Dynamaxes. Magical Leaf and Leafage become Max Overgrowth, setting up grassy terrain, and Round becomes Max Strike, which will slow down your Pokemon. Luckily, you'll have a lot of great options to face Milo. There are plenty of great grass counters you'll be able to catch, but overall, Milo can provide a tough challenge if you're not careful. Finally, we stop at Paldea to meet the latest grass-type specialist, Brassius, the verdant virtuoso of Paldea. Fun fact, apparently Brassius makes a pseudo appearance in Oras, with some of the art you can use for secret bases sharing the name of his art. Brassius's gym team is Petilil, Smoliv, and Grass Terra Sudowoodo, and there are some pretty nasty strategies here. Petilil can put you to sleep and heal with Mega Drain, Smoliv's Razor Leaf could possibly hurt this early in the game, and while Sudowoodo becomes a mono grass type defensively, you gotta remember that he still gets stabbed with Rock Throw, meaning that 4 of the 5 grass counters are a little more risky. Plus, Sudowoodo has Sturdy, so he'll always be able to attack at least once. Brassius can cause real trouble if you're unprepared for the Terra. It's no wonder he's seen as a troublemaker in Nuzlocke by some. Now, with the 7 grass-type specialists of Pokemon covered and analyzed, let's make a final decision on which of them is the toughest. All based on a tournament where you wonderful people got to vote, and my own decision based on my personal experiences. First, the viewer voted tournament, where round 1 was Erika versus Gardenia, in which Gardenia completely bodied the princess. Over 80% of 187 votes. Round 2 was Cilan versus Ramos, where Cilan similarly dunked on the old man. Now for a more even poll, round 3 was Milo versus Brassius. With 145 votes, Milo just barely won with 56% of the votes. But But now for a more special poll. You may have noticed that we skipped Mallow. Since 7 is an awkward number to do a tournament with, I decided that one person would be the odd one out and have their own poll. That poll would decide whether they'd go in the winners or losers bracket. And with an astounding 85% of 134 votes, it was decided that Mallow would go in the winners bracket. I wonder if maybe people thought this was for Totem Lurantis. But oh well, let's continue with the viewer voted tournament. The first round of the semifinals was Gardenia versus Cilan, and Cilan was absolutely bodied with almost 90% of the votes. Then in the semifinals round 2, someone else was similarly bodied, this time being Milo. Now we reach the finals, where it's Gardenia versus Mallow, who managed to get here somehow, and Gardenia took home the gold with 71% of 168 votes. For the losers bracket, we started with an elimination round, and with 71% of the votes, Ramos was voted the easiest grass user. Then was the finals of the losers bracket between Erika and Brassius, and Erika won by 76% of 154 votes. So here is how you wonderful people would rank the grass specialists. Ramos in 7th, Brassius in 6th, Erika in 5th, Cilan and Milo in 4th and 3rd. I forgot to do a poll between them, so take your own pick on who goes where. Mallow in 2nd, and Gardenia in 1st to be the toughest grass user in their initial battles. And for my personal ranking, it would go something like this: Ramos in 7th, Mallow in 6th, Erika in 5th, Milo in 4th, Cilan in 3rd, Brassius in 2nd, and Gardenia in 1st. So there is some overlap here, but still pretty different lists overall. And there you have it, folks. The toughest grass specialists in their initial battles. What do you think about these rankings? Do you agree more with the viewer ranking or my ranking? Which grass specialist do you think is the toughest in their initial battles? Let me know in the comments below. And become a member if you're interested. It's only $2 a month. Have a nice day, you wonderful people.
Mommy, sorry. Mommy, sorry. Mommy, sorry. Mommy, sorry.